Hey guys, Frank the Handyman here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install a very simple above ground irrigation system for a fruits and vegetable garden. Please stay tuned and continue watching until the end because I'm going to be showing you all the details and some tips on how you can do this as well. If you want to learn how to do all kinds of handyman DIY projects, including home renovations, then you're in the best place here on YouTube. Consider subscribing to our channel and activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we'll be uploading. In order to install all the irrigation that we're going to be needing today, we're going to need to dig approximately 150 lineal feet of trenching. And the best, most efficient way to do that is to rent a trencher like the one you see right here. I basically just went to my local Home Depot store and I asked them what options they have available. This one seemed very good and useful for me, especially since when you start digging, it basically moves the dirt off to the side and it gives you a really nice and clean trench that you can work off of. So we're gonna start right here where you see that post, and there's like a water faucet area that we're going to be connecting to, and from there we're going to be digging all the way across this gravel driveway, and we're just going to try to keep it straight and aligning up to the right side edge of this garden that we recently built. Now definitely check out the video. I uploaded another one before this one that shows the entire process of how you can prep the surface area for a garden, but I'm basically just going to dig a trench. And once we put it into the ground, we broke our first pipe, which it wasn't a big deal. It's just one that goes up there to that faucet. So later we just dug around there and cleaned it up and fixed up that area. But everything else is pretty clear. There's no other utilities or anything like that. If you're going to be digging somewhere, I definitely recommend for you to call the locates and just to make sure there's no underground utilities. But right here I noticed that an area kind of caved in, so I just have a little trench shovel, and wherever that happens I'm just going ahead and cleaning it up. Now right here where the cars are going to be driving over, we're digging a little over 12 inches deep, so the pipe is well below ground, and then afterwards we're going to be backfilling and compacting all of that. The rest of the area, we're going to try to keep it at 12 inches, if not a little bit more shallower, especially since we just need it to be below ground and there's nothing else going to be impacting it in this area. We're not going to be running any equipment or stuff. So as long as you keep it at 12 inches, that's the typical recommended depth. Now, all of the tools and the materials that we're going to be using, it's pretty typical PVC piping, 3/4 pipe. We have some 90s, some T's with the fittings that have the screw, and we also have like 4 different heads. We have that mechanism that we're going to be connecting to that faucet that takes it out in 2 sections, and then we have this universal fitting that connects to that, which I'll show you a little bit later. And we also got some of this flex tubing that I'm going to be using. So once you have your trench dug, you'll wanna start installing your piping. Now in my case, I'm using 3/4 inch pipe, taking it from here all the way out to the garden. Now that's more than enough for what we need here, but in most applications, people usually use like 1 inch to take out the water to wherever you need it, and then from there you can reduce it, like in this case. But so right here I have the piping going all the way straight, and then I have a T to go to the left, and then over here I have a 90 to go this way, and then I'm gonna end it about 3/4 of the way down the garden. Now my strategy is I'm gonna be putting 4 heads, one on each corner area, so that it waters as much of the section as possible. This is one of the ends. I just have a 90 there, and I have a fitting that is 1/2 inch. It just screws onto the 90, and from there I'm gonna be connecting the flex tubing. Now on this other section, I'm also going to be putting a 90 with the fitting right there. So that's going to be on my two ends. And then over here at this corner, we're going to be putting in another head. So in order to do that, you just have a T with the female head, and then you put in the 1/2 inch male fitting that screws onto the T. And from there, we're going to be installing this flex tubing. I cut it at 2 foot and 2 inches sections, and I basically just screw that onto the fitting, and that's going to be my riser for the heads. I'm going to do that for each of the 4 sections. And there's my T right there with that vertical fitting. This is the most easiest practical way to do it, especially if you know the areas where your heads are going to go. And so I just put that, and it's pretty simple. Then from there over here for the water, we're going to get it from the faucet. You know, it's like a garden, you know, faucet area. So we have that connection that goes out in 2 ways. So, and then on this one, I have a clock. They sell all of this at the Home Depot store. You can find everything there. They sell those clocks. In this case, I have 2 splitter. It splits out in 2, and that way I can use one for all of the irrigation. I can have it on a timer, and then on the other one, it's going to be used for like if we want to put another garden hose or whatever. But over here, so we put a 90. We put a couple of 90s, and then it goes up. I put a coupler right there with a screw female, and there we put a copper fitting onto that, and that's what we hooked up to the hose. And then we're putting that hose over here, so that connects to the clock, and that's how we attach it there to the water spigot. You know, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You basically just leave the water on, put that on the timer. It lets you program it like for daily watering. And there I turned it on, and it works perfectly. We have water coming out of the 4 areas. And we noticed that the pressure, it wasn't very much when we initially turned the water on. And we later found out that since this house is ran on a well, we actually had to increase the pressure of the well, so that way we can get some more output in this lower end of the property. But we'll do that later. For now, I just screw on the heads. You know, I put the fitting onto the heads, and then I put that onto the flex pipe, and then I tied each one of the heads to the T-bars with some zip ties, and that's pretty much it. Then we turned it on, and now we have most of the area watered. Now, you'll definitely want to just see how everything is. You may have to add a head or 2, which I had to do later. But for the most part, this is like the entire concept of how you can install an above ground irrigation system for a fruits and vegetable garden. This is going to help us tremendously, so that way we don't have to be coming out here like every day and watering it by hand and all that. We can do other things and, you know, just have our garden be watered. Overall, this is a great DIY project because it requires basic hand tools. It's inexpensive. You can save yourselves a ton of money by doing it yourself, and it looks awesome in the end, so it's super rewarding. If this video was helpful, please remember to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscriber button, activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos. All the tools and products that I used in this video will be linked in the description below. May God bless you, and I'll see you in the next project.